my open live session in the art studio today. And if you've never been here before, I'm Cynthia, and I like to explore mixed media, water-based media, and today I wanted to revisit this particular piece. I worked on it a little bit last Saturday, and I I want to make some of the darker areas darker. And I also wanted to do something with this architectural piece right here. And so before the live stream started, this is still a little bit wet. I put a piece of this sort of plain paper on here, thin kind of tissue paper. I don't even know where that roll came from because I really wanted to unify this whole area behind this sort of bridge-like structure. So I just did that, and then the other thing that I wanna do is I think I'm gonna use, um I thought about getting out, acrylics and darkening some areas, but I think I'm gonna try using some of these, pigment inks in a brush and see if I can just deepen a couple areas, and I don't wanna do too much to this because I'm pretty happy with it. But I thought there's some passages of dark that go through here that could be maybe made a little bit darker. And so that's what I thought I'd try this. And hopefully I'm not jiggling the camera too much here. So that area up there. And then I think I had, um, it's kind of dark here. I wanted to deepen this a little bit. I don't know how much this is. I think it's starting to work. And I want to keep that light right there. That's a light passage. And then this is pretty dark over here. But again, I really like what's going on underneath it. And if you've never been here before, this is a pretty, I've taken this piece pretty far, but a lot of times when I start out, I really don't know where I'm headed. In fact, I'm going to work on this piece in a minute. This was an old collage, and there's some other things under here I didn't really like. So last time I did some collaging on it, and then I still didn't love it, and so I did a little bit more. So we're going to try to see what that becomes. But I like to just start with something random and then just kind of see uh, what emerges from it. So if you've been here before, you know that I kind of just figure it out as I go. So I think this piece is pretty close to being done. I wanted to, I don't know if I need to do anything as that piece of collage is coming off right there. I don't I don't know if I really need to do anything else to that too. I'm afraid to take it back too much. I might want to, after it's dry, maybe put a touch of one of these inks on it. I think I have sort of maybe, I don't know if this might be too yellow. I want to keep the value really light right there. And if you've been here before too, I like to use a lot of gravity and water, but this one's almost done, so I don't want to do too much more to it. Just maybe, like I said, integrate some of this into the background a little bit more. I have to be careful not to do too much to it. I guess what I'm hoping to accomplish is, I think I mentioned this previously, our little town has a senior center where there's an art gallery, and I've never had any of my art in an art gallery. I've just recently been, coming back to art this past year when I started my YouTube channel in earnest. And so I guess what I'm saying is maybe I'm pulling together enough art by having a practice here on YouTube that I can actually see if they'll show my work. It's a senior center and they like to put local people in, and So I'm hoping to use these panels. I have 10 of them right now. I think this is the 11th, and this one will be number 12. So I think this one's pretty close. I was thinking about maybe trying to lighten this area here with, I'm going to use, this is an oil pastel stick that I thought I got lighten it a little bit, but I want to, don't want it to look too much like I just added a bunch of crayon to it. So I think this one's done. This could be a little lighter in here too. It's kind of almost like a reflection. So to me, this is a little bit like I find landscapes and things mostly because, well, maybe because I'm a landscape architect by training and profession, and I'm kind of semi-retired now. But I I tend to see things as landscape and places or atmosphere, that kind of thing. I just felt like it needed a little bit more of this passage of a lighter color and not a lighter color, lighter value in here. My, I'm sorry, I'm wiggling the camera. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave this one. I think it's done. And then I want to move on to this one today and really try to. I'm pretty happy with that one. That one's called What We Took, the one that I just finished. And that was because it got buried, but there were some words on one of the scraps of collage paper that said What We Took. It was like a article from an old National Geographic magazine. Okay, so I did glue this on. If you wanted to see what this looked like last week, you could check out last Saturday's live stream. So I wanted to get this on here so I could kind of, I had turned this, I like to turn my panels different ways to see what, you know, what it, what speaks to me. And sometimes I get surprised because, oh, like right now, I'm a little bit surprised turning this because sometimes it emerges as something different. Like this is kind of cool, I think, right now. It almost looks like I'm inside of a cave looking out at a moon. I might like that. And then this looked like something like either getting buried or emerging. So anyway, I'm going to keep playing with this. And I think what I'm going to do is use my, I like to use this product over here called Brusho. And it's a crystal powder that you sprinkle on. And I also like using these distress inks and just watercolor sticks. Oh, you know what? I'm really unprepared today. I didn't bring any water up to my studio. I don't have water here. Actually, I have water in my water bottle. Let me put it in something. One day we're going to hopefully have some water up here. But I want to find something that I'm going to probably put some water, kind of just let this trickle down on the page and see what happens. And I'm not even sure what colors I want to use yet. I really like the blue and the purple in that and a little bit of that brown. And once again, I keep forgetting to put my microphone in my, I'm going to skip it. I don't have to have a microphone. I think you can hear me okay. And honestly, maybe you don't really need to hear me that much. These distress inks, they get all over the place. So I wanted to mention this tissue paper. It's It's, like, it's called bleeding tissue paper, so it's like, um, you use it with water and then the color comes out of it. Well, I experimented with it on Wednesday in my live stream on Wednesday, and although I didn't I liked what I came I wasn't trying to do anything, I was kind of experimenting with it, and then what happened was I ended up liking the dried tissue paper almost better than what it did on the page, and so this is some of that dried tissue paper that I've got on here, and I just really like the way that looks. I think, this might be too pink. I kinda wanted to pick up this peachy look in there. I don't know if I have a color for that. And so I don't know, this tissue paper might actually bleed some more. Some of the color might end up coming down here. I'm just gonna put some more water on here, kind of really get it activated. I don't know, I just thought maybe some of this pink of some sort might. And then I've also got this purple down here that I like. Oh, maybe this is more like it. Sorry, I keep shaking my camera. That's very orange, isn't it? I really wanted to pick up that idea of that color in there. Hmm. I'll just put some more water on that. Oh, no wonder I picked up fired brick and not this pink. I didn't grab the pink that I wanted. Sorry, I'm a little bit off the screen here. Boy, I tell you, I really should be a little more organized. I don't even know where my roll of paper towels is. Oh, there it is. Under my desk. I've had a busy few days of, I'm taking the summer off from my part-time job. And so I don't know, I've been working a lot and looking forward to today, but not the most organized. Well, I don't mind the way that that looks with that tissue paper. That's kind of cool. I'm not happy with this color that's coming out of it exactly. Hmm. Oh, I grabbed the wrong color. looking for my purple. Oh, there it is. I thought that was purple and it wasn't. Sorry, I'm going to try to. This isn't. Trying to get the whole thing on the screen. Well, I'm kind of struggling around with colors up here. Not very happy with anything so far. I like this texture right here though, but not loving the colors that are happening. And then also I thought, like I said before, I thought this was it. This is, and then now I'm thinking I kind of like it like this. I need to get some other blues out here. This might not be the right blue. I don't know. I kind of like that. Excuse me. I feel like I just inhaled something. I really like what's happening here, but let me zoom out. Because I want to work on this, and then I'm just not sure also about how I feel about this sort of central area here. All right, I think I'm gonna use some water and stuff up here and see what it I could get going over here. If you're just joining me and you haven't been here before, I like to make process videos about um, I guess, mixed media pieces. And I like to just sort of come on here and see what happens without any plan. So I'm going to put some stuff up here. Let's see. This is a crystal called Brusho. And I really like the way it just kind of does move with the water. So this piece started out as an old collage that I just really didn't like very much. And so I decided to cover it up and just collage over it and then see what else speaks to me. And sometimes well, a lot of times I see a landscape that comes out of these works. I guess, really thinking about, I live in the country. I grew up in the country. I'm a landscape architect. And so I guess it kind of shouldn't be too surprising that I tend to see landscapes or atmospheric uh, places in my work. So this one, like I said, I thought I was thinking about it this way, which I still do like it, but I turned it. I keep turning my pieces, and then sometimes I see something else when I turn it. I was pretty sure when I started today's live stream that I was going to look at it the other way, this way. That it was this, kind of thing emerging, but I like it better like this now. Like now it seems like I'm inside of a place looking through a fissure. To kind of darken this area, kind of make it seem like that glare, my light glare on the table. Just want to make this darker in here. I also got this purple Brusho. Well, I kind of like the way this is headed, but I still don't know what to do about that. It needs to stay light. Well, I want this to be the lightest, this to be the darkest, and then this to be a mid value. But I'm not sure that I like the way it looks right now. And so I don't know, maybe I could I'm trying to decide if I should try some kind of a distress ink, something that I can kind of glaze on and wipe back. I didn't really get my acrylic paints out today. I just didn't really feel like doing that. Hmm. It might just be that I do need to glaze it over a little bit with acrylic and see where that goes. Because I'm really liking the rest of it. And I like this. I just want to do something here a little bit more to, I don't know, I guess sort of unify this area a little bit more. I mean, it's got that pearlescent glaze over it, and I'm wondering if I just need to put more pearlescent, maybe with a touch of, like pink or white in it. And I'm not prepared to paint today. Let's see. I got new brushes. I ordered the wrong thing. I accidentally ordered two of the same size. I wanted a small one and a bigger one. I do have this one. This is the one I want. And I just need, well, I didn't get my acrylic palette out. I'm just going to put it on my desk. The beauty of having a glass work surface is that you can just use it as your palette. Okay, so I've got a little bit of this translucent or pearlescent, and it's off screen, and a little bit of white. And I think I want a touch of red or peach or something in there. I actually have some peach, so I want to just go for it. Might not be the right thing. That might be too much. I mean, you can't see what I'm doing over here, but I'm mixing this up a little bit. It's got picking up some yellow in there that I don't love. I feel like I have a problem with this. I don't know how to solve it yet. Maybe it doesn't want to be yellow. Maybe it wants to be a light purple instead. Or maybe it's really gray. Don't know what I don't like about this. I like this. Okay, let's see. What can I do? Try mixing a little blue and a bit of blue in that. Sorry, I keep hitting my camera. That's probably too blue. I wanted it to look kind of gray. Maybe that's all right. Mm, I don't like that. I got blue in here and I don't want blue in there. All right, so I'm not in love with this. I mean, I like what's happening around it, but I feel like this doesn't. Maybe I just need to sit with it for a little while and let it dry and maybe I just need more water over here to do other things with it. Oh, my water's empty. Sometimes when I try to control things too much, I think I end up with something that I'm not happy with. It's really actually one of the things that I don't know, that's a big part of my art is to just sort of let things happen and see what emerges from it. And sometimes when I try to control it too much, it just isn't going the way I want it to go, right? So that's why I like using water and just gravity and just see what happens. See how much color comes out of here on this other side. And I set my eyedropper down somewhere. Oh, here it is, right in front of me. That's just water. Just see what happens. Like I said, I earlier, if you weren't here earlier, I thought this was how this painting was, or mixed media piece was going to be oriented. And maybe it still will be, but I really liked it like this. But then I wasn't happy about this. I don't know if I'm any happier with this orientation or not. And maybe that's okay now. I didn't like what I did with it earlier. Well, it's probably enough for now. Probably need to let it dry and then decide what else I want to do with it, if anything. So anyway, thanks for joining me here today live. And if you are on the replay, I really appreciate you stopping by to see what I'm up to. And I will be back on Wednesday with another live stream and Saturday, Wednesdays and Saturdays, unless something comes up on my schedule. But until next time, I hope you'll check out some of my other live stream replays and some of my long format videos, which are really not that long. Until next time, have a great day.